Alright, time for the next weapon class, the shotguns. And there are two of them in this game. The first one is your average variety shotgun. A conventional pump-action shotgun. Really, you could have done better than that. Alright, anyway, here it is at full scale. There we go. Alright, so here's the location of the shotgun. It's in this one room where you also acquire the black statue. Just in the corner here next to some gasoline. So, let's go ahead and test the shotgun out. So as you can see, Rebecca is clearly not a weapons handler, so she has to take a small step back with every shot of the shotgun while Billy can stand his ground. Alright, let's see. I'm going to test the shotguns on a hunter. Alright, I don't know if I've ever seen that dying animation before of a hunter. But anyway, for both characters, it took 3 shots from the regular shotgun to defeat a hunter. Although the second shot, for some reason, doesn't seem to do anything to them. It won't knock them back or anything. I don't know if it was because of my timing or whatnot. But whatever. Same for both characters. I don't know why I'm bothering to do both characters. I guess just to add variety. Alright, that is going to conclude the shotgun. Now for the next and final shotgun, the hunting gun. A shotgun used for hunting. There's a design carved on the forestock. This model can only be loaded with 2 shells at a time. Much better description, Capcom. Alright, so here's a nice close-up view of it. Alright. So the hunting gun can be found on the train in one of the compartments, specifically the one near the ice pick before the Stinger battle. Anyway, once you have it, it's pretty much the best thing against that thing if you're a rookie. Beyond that, I would recommend you switch over to the other shotgun because, yes, this only has 2 bullets per reload, so you'll be reloading a lot. It is slightly more powerful, however, so I guess it just depends on your preference. Alright, so let's go ahead and test it out. So, of course, Billy stands his ground, unlike Rebecca. However, I noticed, for some reason, when you're aiming down, he slows the firing speed way down. I wonder why. Doesn't really matter, though, I guess. So let's go ahead and test the hunting gun now on a hunter. Alright, so same amount of shots for the hunting gun to take down a hunter, 3. I feel like I ran into the same exact problem in the last time I did a weapon review for this game. It's just the damage between the 2 shotguns doesn't seem to be enough to cause a real different result. Maybe I should try testing them on zombies, I don't know. I'm not gonna go there. If you really want to know the difference in damage rates between the 2 shotguns, look it up. That's what the internet is for. I am just simply showcasing the weapons and doing simple enemy tests, so I really don't care about the statistics of it. That is going to conclude the hunting gun, as well as all shotguns. Alright, now for my personal favorite weapon class, the magnums. The first one is just your typical magnum. A large handgun capable of firing powerful magnum rounds. Alrighty. So yeah, So even though this is a Magnum, it is more pistol looking, for sure. It acts just like a pistol. Alright, so the location of this weapon is on a dead soldier within the cable car once you get it going. And there you go. Alright, so let's test the Magnum out. Here's a great looking close-up with Billy first. Alright, so as countlessly proven, Billy can handle weapons better than Rebecca. He fires the Magnum quite faster, and he doesn't have to take a step back, unlike Rebecca. But anyway, there's the Magnum for you. So I'm going to test the Magnums on the Proto-Tyrant. Alright, so it took 11 shots from the regular Magnum to take down the Proto-Tyrant. Not too shabby. Hope you have plenty of ammo to spare, though. Just so you guys know, I didn't reload a single time because I'm on infinite ammo mode. Just makes this weapon review easier. Hopefully, infinite ammo mode being on doesn't decrease the damage rate in any way. Or whatnot. Maybe someone should look into that. Other than that, though, 11 shots for the Magnum. Alrighty, so that is going to conclude the said weapon. Alright, now for the next and final Magnum, the Magnum Revolver. A Magnum Revolver containing enhanced parts like a new cylinder and frame. Its tremendous firepower makes it more of a hand cannon than a handgun. See, that's where I get hand cannon from, because I really like to call this thing the hand cannon. Alright, so the Magnum Revolver is an unlockable, just like the submachine gun. However, it is not unlocked through rank. You acquire the Magnum Revolver by getting 90 to 99 leeches in the Leech Hunter minigame. Alright, so here is an awesome looking close-up of it with Billy. Can't get any better looking than that, I feel like. Alright, so let's go ahead and test it out. What a beast. I love revolvers, man. Alright, so let's go ahead and test the hand cannon on the Proto-Tyrant. Holy shit. It only took 2 shots from the Magnum Revolver to take down the Tyrant. So yeah, this beast is much, much more powerful than the regular Magnum. I don't know the true damage statistics. I believe the Magnum is like 9999, or that's the rocket launcher. I might be getting them confused. But the Magnum Revolver's in the high thousands, while the regular Magnum might be like 1,000 or something like that. Again, if you want to see the actual statistics, look it up online. I mean, I don't have time to show them here. But anyway, that test alone proves how much more powerful this revolver is compared to the regular Magnum. So there you go. Now before we conclude the Magnum Revolver, I'm going to stick to my classic Magnum tradition, since this is obviously the most powerful Magnum, and I'm going to take it to a few zombies' heads for the awesome explosive headshot. Alright, here we go. Headshots! And he actually stayed standing for quite a while there. Alrighty, people. That is going to conclude the Magnum Revolver.
Hey, Queenie! Feast on this!
Alright, now for the final weapon class, the explosive weapons. And the first one is the grenade launcher. Ooh. A large grenade launcher featuring a revolver-style chamber. It's currently loaded with regular grenades. Alright. So yeah. Quite interesting there. I like the look of it. You know, so you notice on the back here, it looks like it has a stock you could use. Of course, they never open that thing up and you actually use it. Alright, so the grenade launcher is located in the one room where you unlock the water motif door. There's 2 play crawlers when you first enter this room, so be careful. Once you defeat them, you can acquire this grenade launcher. So I have all 3 types of rounds in my inventory here. Grenades, napalm grenades, and acid grenades. So if I were to load it up with different types of grenades, yeah, it's currently loaded with acid grenades, and I bet it will just say napalm here. Yep. And I wonder if the description would be any different if I emptied it out. I'll see in a little bit. But for now, let's go ahead and test it out with each round first. Okay, you cannot reload this with an animation. You can only reload it through combining in the inventory, unfortunately. So now that it's emptied out, it just deletes the part of the description that says what types of rounds it has. Alright, so there's every type of round for you, as well as the characters firing it. And once again, Billy fires it faster than Rebecca, because he's more experienced with firearms. And he's stronger. Alright, so I'm going to test a grenade launcher on the Proto-Tyrant as well. Alright, I came pretty close to dying, but it took 9 explosive rounds to take down the Tyrant. Now let's try incendiary rounds on this beast. Alright, it also took 9 incendiary shells to take down the Proto-Tyrant. So not much of a damage difference between explosive and incendiary. However, incendiary does have a great use in this game specifically. The incendiary rounds are great for the mimicry Marcuses around the game because they're flames. So it's just like the Molotov cocktail. You take that thing down relatively easily and prevent it from exploding its leeches like towards you. All right. Now that we're done with flame rounds, let's try the final round, acid. Alright, so it only took 6 acid rounds to take down the Proto-Tyrant. So, the acid rounds deal more damage than the previous 2 rounds, at least when it comes to the Proto-Tyrant. Now, as always through the Resident Evil games, I'm not sure if the damage applies to all enemies the same way as bullets do when it comes to grenade rounds, because in my experience in the Resident Evil games, each round is better fit for specific enemies. So, for all we know, it would take more acid rounds to take down a mimicry Marcus than it would flame rounds. But anyway, in this test alone, the acid rounds proved to be the best round for the Proto-Tyrant. And to be fair, across all the games, it usually is the acid rounds that come out on top. Of course, the games that feature nitrogen rounds or freeze rounds, usually those are on top. But no freeze rounds for this game. Alright, that is going to conclude the acid rounds as well as the entire grenade launcher in general. Alright, time for the final weapon of its class, as well as the final weapon in this entire weapon review, the rocket launcher. A devastatingly powerful piece of weaponry that fires rockets. No shit. Alright. So here it is, close up. Yes, sir. Alright, so this obviously is an unlockable. This is the result of getting an S rank in the game, which is beating the game under 3.5 hours. So yeah, my personal opinion, of course, being a Resident Evil veteran, really not difficult to do. But for the rookies, I applaud you if you managed to get this unlocked within a decent amount of time. Alright, so let's go ahead and test this piece out. It is infinite by nature, just so you know. You can't get limited rounds on it. Even Billy has to step back for that. And yeah, unlike Remake, when you aim down, you usually do like an animation where it's too much to handle. But Billy's not doing that at all. So, I guess they scrapped that. Very powerful motherfucker here. So, there's really no one enemy to test this on as usual in my weapon reviews, so the best thing to do for this weapon is to just show a quick montage of many different enemies getting obliterated by it. So, enjoy the little slideshow. Turns out the Tyrant can take more than one shot. Interesting. Alright, and that is going to conclude the rocket launcher, as well as all weapons in Resident Evil 0. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It's always a pleasure to return our weapon reviews, since I don't get them out that often anymore, since I covered basically the entire franchise. Of course, we got a new game coming out as of this moment, Resident Evil 2 Remake. I will obviously do a brand new weapon review as soon as I can after that game comes out. First, I gotta do a blind Let's Play of it, but of course, you can rely on a weapon review and a melee move review, possibly, if it has melee moves, as well. Alright, so for regular viewers who really don't care about the future of my channel, the weapon review stops here. So, you can end the video now. If you're a subscriber, though, of course you want to keep on listening and get the news of what I'm going to be doing next. So, obviously, the weekly Q&As are going to continue. The next piece of content that I plan on creating is returning to full plays and starting Resident Evil Dead Aim, because that is the next game in the series. So, that will be my next video, is the prologue to Resident Evil Dead Aim, my full play of it, anyway. Alright, so this is Shankster94, aka The Gamer Shankster. Rate, comment, subscribe if you're a regular viewer who happened to stick around. Follow me on Twitter at Shankster_94. Check out my Facebook page and support me on Patreon. Shout out to Wyatt Shottrand for being my one and only patron as of this moment. And I look forward to seeing you guys again in future videos. Alrighty, peace out. You guys are the best.